All right, everybody, hang with me here for just a second. We got some good Detroit Lions news. I mean, some really good Detroit Lions news. And a week or two ago, as the season was ending, you have a guy out here talking to reporters, one of our absolute best players. And all of a sudden, we're like, is this guy retiring? Like, are we about to lose what many believe is the cornerstone of our offensive line? And yes, we talk about how Penei Sewell might be the best offensive lineman just because he's the highest graded, all that kind of stuff. But there's also the engine that stirs the drink. That is the center. That is Frank Ragnow. Well, I got good news, everybody. Big Frank, just shut down all retirement talk. So in this video, we're going to talk about how he shut it down. We're going to talk about what it means to this team and why it's so important. And I got three, I think, pretty convincing arguments. So let's start with what he said. It was very simple. I'm not retiring. So he goes at the NFL Honors red carpet event in Vegas. He says, I'm not retiring. He later expanded saying, I just need a few weeks to get healthy. That's all I need. I need a few weeks to get healthy, and then I'll be good. And what I love about this is he is admitting and he is realizing that like his body is wearing down. He's getting older than he used to be. So now what he has to do is he has to change up his routine. He said, I guess my typical off season is to kind of get right back into it. And I think as I'm getting older, I need to understand that sometimes maybe less is more. And I just need some time to make sure I'm healthy and we'll get rolling again. All right. So he had the scary comments earlier where he talked about how he needs to find a way to get back to Frank. And he said it was weighing on him. He talked about himself as a parent and as a husband. And I think that's kind of what it is. You know, in the open letter that Alex Anzalone wrote on the Players Tribune, he talked about like one time where he rolled down, he was on the ground and his son wanted to wrestle and tackle. And he's like, Dad has cracked ribs. I can't do that right now. And so there were some things that were going on. But what we see now is pretty awesome. You know, like it's a realization of like, just take some time and get healthy. You have a lot of time until the next season starts. Like, take your time, get healthy. So Frank Ragnow, as you know, is always one of the higher graded players on PFF, but I don't want to just use PFF. I will tell you he had an 88.1 PFF pass blocking grade. He only allowed one sack, and he only allowed 5 hits on Jared Goff all season, and that was almost 1,000 snaps. He only had 3 penalties as well this offseason. So these are all things that are really big deals. By the way, where the flag is, this is a new flag back here. See the Lions? There you go. I'll move. No, you don't. Nope, not there. Ed, yeah. All right, this is like some of my favorite helmets because this is like 90s version. But okay, sorry, I just got distracted. Here's the other thing. He is part of a group that is phenomenal. Player Profiler did an article recently talking about offensive line rankings and tiers at the end of the season. And they split them into tier 1, which is the elite units, and the elite of the elite came out to be the Detroit Lions. All right, when you look at what we have, and the second best or best player on that offensive line is Frank Ragnow. The center is what makes it go. The other tier 1 team was the Philadelphia Eagles. All right, Jason Kelce and Lane Johnson. Do you think that it's a surprise that the 2 tier 1 elite offenses have a phenomenal center and a phenomenal tackle? I don't think it is. All right, tier 2, you have the great, just not elite. This is where we fell in last year, but this year we moved into tier 1. All right. It says Frank Ragnow, 0 sacks. All the stuff we said has been stellar this season. However, the unsung hero of this unit is Graham Glasgow. So what you're looking at is a team that put together a good offensive line that has an elite center, an elite tackle, and then, by the way, a very good other tackle in Taylor Decker, and then they filled in the guard positions nicely. That is what elite offensive lines do. That's what they do. All right. So here's another reason that Frank is so important to keep around. All right? It's his contract. I just sneezed on camera. Whoops. All right. So here is Frank's contract. And as you can see, for the caliber of player that he is, especially if he stays healthy, he is an elite player on a good contract. He signed a 4-year, $54 million contract with the Lions back in 2021. His dead cap, this is the last year in which his dead cap doesn't, like, that it would hurt us if he was gone. Next year at 8, not so bad. The year after that at 3.5, not bad at all. So if he decided to actually hang it up in the next 2 years, like we could, salary cap wise, we'd be fine. All right. There's a potential restructure here after the age 20, after this season. Right here, you restructure the contract and extend it out a couple more years, make it team friendly, help it to work with some of the rookies and things like that you're bringing in and that you have to give contracts to. So another important reason for him to be around is not just his play, it's the fact that he's on a contract that doesn't kill you. It just doesn't kill you. It's an average of a $13.5 million contract a year. Like, that's fantastic. That's fantastic. All right. You look at this, and the cap hit last year was $4 million more than it is this year. And then it goes up about 1.2, and then it goes up another 1.5. That's not bad. So when we look at Frank, all things Frank, what we realize is this is such an important piece. A guy who's 27 years old, a guy who is signed through his age 30 season, that's exactly where you want to be. And so my hope is that this offseason he gets healthier. Now, I do want to take a second to talk about the health staff that we have on this team. In the offseason, we brought in a ton of new medical staff personnel. Brad Holmes talked about it on his, on his press conference after the season. And in that press conference, he talked about how they've done a great job. That puts this team and Frank Ragnow in alignment to become healthier. Like, they did a phenomenal job this year. This wasn't the same Lions where we were like, everybody's always hurt. You know how we always think that throughout the years? Did you think that this year? I did not. They had some major injuries. Don't get me wrong. It's the NFL. But they didn't get destroyed. So, yes, keep Frank around. Keep him healthy. It's good to hear that Frank's not contemplating retirement, that he's simply saying, I need to get healthy. And he's understanding that his body, as he gets older, it's going to take some more. All right. Hopefully you like the content. We'll continue to bring you Lions content every single day. We missed yesterday. That's a miracle. But every single day for the whole off season, and we want to be your continued go-to spot for Lions content. So keep watching. Thanks. See ya.